Vinu, look, thank you very much for taking my call there. I just said I'd make it a really quick video, and it'll hopefully help you, help to explain kind of the process of what we're trying to make here anyway. So this is the car. These were all the steps that we went in SolidWorks and we built the car. Okay, so look, that's pretty easy. I know you've no problem with that. So that's the car that we made. Now, all these are various parts, and we have exported them, and basically this is sorry, I'll go in here. So this was the assembly of all those parts when they joined together in the assembly file. Okay, kind of like Lego, as I was saying. And then what we have down here, just to explain the parts as best I can. So here's all the parts that we will kind of have. Now there's some parts here that we were able to buy, but just to explain, so this kind of light pink color here, this guy, which is the main body, that guy now that's in blue, that's the bit there that we need to be machined on a milling machine. Okay. The idea behind it anyway, as I said, is at the very back there's a little hole here where an air canister goes into, and that propels the car forward. That's the idea. So that's the bit that needs to be done on a milling machine. This bit here, I'll go into, sorry, I'm just trying to find the part. So the front wing, that bit there, and the rear wing. So those two bits there that are kind of in blue now, they're parts that we would be 3D printing. And the idea is the front wing has a little section here where it's kind of, you can see this little bit here. Now what we're going to do is we'll have a little hollow out there, and we're putting a little magnet in there. And the idea by the magnet is then the front wing is meant to be easily disassembled. It slots in there, so it's like that little bit there slots in here, and underneath there there's this little space for a magnet to go in there as well, and it just clips on with the magnet. So that's the front wing. The rear wing isn't part of the competition, it's just stuck onto it, but it has to be made separate. The rear wing, we'll just be gluing that part on there, and it's obviously made to size. So that's the idea with those parts. Now, the more complex part is this kind of guy here. So we have wheels that we're hoping to possibly make. They'd need to be maybe turned down in a lathe or something like that. So that's the wheels there. Obviously the whole point of this competition is it's meant to be really lightweight material, because you want your car to be extremely light, and the lighter it is the faster it will be. These guys here are just bearings, and we have already bought them. Now the bearings are 3mm for the inner race, a 3mm little diameter hole there, and the outer hole, or the outer edge then, the outer race, is a 7mm diameter. And the idea is the bearing is just going to slot onto this, be glued on there, and then the outer ring will glue into the wheel, and that will allow the wheel to rotate. But this is the piece that's quite complicated on its own here. I'll just try and open that if I can. Open part, bear with me here, apologies. This is the kind of complicated bit here. That bit there is kind of, so that bit there, this portion glues underneath the car. We need this bit here because there's meant to be a little string that goes through that, and that kind of links into the wheels then on either side. So you can see there it's quite a complicated piece, and you probably have better advice on how that would be made. I wasn't sure if it would be 3D printed or something like that. So that's quite a really complicated part there. And I'll say discard the changes, bear with me here now. So the idea with that is, you can see there's in the actual machined block, there's a little slot here where we've kind of took out a chunk, and that bit there will just slot up, and that goes up into that. That's kind of the idea there. There's a very similar one here at the back. The only difference with the one at the back is the one at the back here is slightly longer, because it's the back surface is a different width to the front surface, so the back one is a little bit longer. So that's the idea there, Vinu, and that's kind of how it all assembles together basically. And if I just close that down there, I'll say don't save. We have the assembly file here, and this is when it all assembles together, and you can see, if I just rotate around, you can see how it slots up into it there. So that bit underneath slots up into it. Same thing here. We've done a section in the main block. We've hollowed out a lot of the base of it. The reason being is because we're trying to reduce the weight of the block, and it's these things are meant to direct airflow around the wheels so that it makes the car more efficient. That's the kind of idea there we went with. And then just to show you last little bit here, if I go into this little view, that's the reason. So that little guy there, the reason behind that is so that the string can go through it, if that makes sense. Okay, so look, I hope all that makes sense there, Vinu, and looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that video was helpful.